My father, James Hurd, known to his friends as Bud, was born in Whitby on July 15, 1917. My father and his friends enlisted in the Royal Canadian Army in 1942, and he served with the 6th Canadian Field Regiment, Royal Canadian Artillery. My father eventually saw action on July 13, 1944, 5 days after his unit landed at Normandy. He received serious injuries that day and was returned to England by plane, where he received further medical treatment. He rejoined his unit 6 months later in Belgium, remaining with them through Holland and Germany until the end of the war in Europe. Upon being discharged from the Army, my father returned to Whitby. He would later receive several months of treatment at Sunnybrook Veterans Hospital for post-traumatic stress syndrome. My father returned to working in the family business, Hurd's Taxi and Cartage. He would later become the 3rd generation owner of the business until his retirement. A year after the war ended, my father and mother, Isabel Watson, were married on June 1, 1946. They later had 3 children, Susan, David, and myself, James. Unfortunately, David passed away at the age of 3 due to leukemia. My parents loved to dance, enjoying Saturday night dances, Club Bayview in Whitby, and later the Jubilee in Oshawa. Almost every New Year's Eve and other special occasion dances at Legion Branch 112 were also spent with friends. My parents also took great pride in their family, spending time with their children and later grandchildren. My father believed in giving back to the community, and he did this as a volunteer Whitby firefighter for over 25 years. He was also a member of the Royal Canadian Legion Branch 112 and proudly marched in every Remembrance Day parade that he could. He also received letters of recognition from the Canadian Red Cross for continued blood donations over the years. He looked at this as a way to repay the community for the blood they donated while his son David was ill. Upon retiring from the family business, my parents traveled extensively, including an emotional trip to the Netherlands that was sponsored by the Royal Canadian Legion to celebrate the 40th anniversary of VE Day. 50 years after joining the war together, Bud and his good friends had a reunion picture taken. Ironically, his friends' names were also Bud Bragg and Bud Dilling. In 1996, my parents were fortunate to have celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary together. That same year, my father also received a Certificate of Achievement from the Ontario Member of Parliament for 50 years of service in the Royal Canadian Legion. 4 years later, on August 11, 2000, my father passed away in Oshawa.